Hello, friends. Today, I want to share a new chapter from my life. Settle in, this one's a journey. I'm Gemma Collins. I'm 34, the founder of a wellness startup, and for as long as I can remember, the unofficial problem solver of my family. If there was a forgotten insurance form, a medical emergency requiring last-minute travel, or a missed birthday needing flowers, guess who handled it? I was the dependable one. The constant. The quiet engine that kept things running. I never asked for anything in return. My younger sister, Ember, she's 30, has never had that role. Striking, charismatic, adored without effort, Ember was always the sun in everyone's orbit. Ever since we were kids, she was the favorite, especially to our mother, Lorna. When our dad lost his job, I stayed up late balancing bills with him. Ember? She was screaming about which color dress to wear to the school dance. She moved through life buoyed by charm, rescued every time things got tough, usually by me. So when she got engaged to Caleb Marks, a finance guy from Napa, I stepped in like I always do. Ember envisioned a fairy tale, a lakefront ceremony, string musicians, gourmet cuisine, towers of champagne, a vintage Rolls-Royce, and no budget. Caleb's parents chipped in a little. Our parents, predictably, offered emotional support, code for no money. The financial burden fell on me. I paid the $19,000 venue deposit. Then came the caterer, the photographer, the rental fees. Every time Ember cried over something being imperfect, I fixed it, with my wallet. I kept writing checks. The final total? Just under $79,000. I told myself it was about love. That this is what family did. That someday, Ember would truly see and appreciate me. But 2 weeks before the big day, I got a text. Not from Ember, from our mother. 5 words flashing on my phone like a punch to the chest. You're not invited. Ember's decision. The rest? You've made this about yourself. I stared at it, stunned. My mouth went dry. I called immediately. Mom, what the hell is this? Her tone was firm, like I was the one being unreasonable. It's for the best, Gemma. Ember's overwhelmed, and honestly, you've inserted yourself a bit too much. I paid for everything, I said, trying to stay calm. I saved this wedding. Well, she sighed, money isn't everything. You've been overbearing. Ember just wants her day to be about her. I couldn't breathe. Then Ember herself called. Her voice, as always, sweet with just enough edge to cut. You're making things uncomfortable, Jim. You always need to be in charge. Ember, I said quietly, this wouldn't even be happening if it weren't for me. Silence. Then a click. She hung up. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't respond. I sat, staring at that message, you're not invited, like it was the final blow. And then I opened my laptop. My fingers started typing before my thoughts caught up. First, the venue. I called, voice cool. The bride has requested a cancellation. I'm the one who signed the contract. Please process the refund to the original card. Click. Next. Catering. Yes, I'm aware the deposit is partially non-refundable. I need cancellation confirmation by 3 p.m. today. I was polite. Professional. Icy. The florist pushed back. You can't cancel this close to the event. Yes, I said calmly. I can. Because I paid for it. Not Ember. Not my mother. Me. I removed myself from every planning document. Deleted the shared folder. Left every group chat. Changed all login details. No warnings. No explanations. They didn't deserve one. That afternoon, for the first time in weeks, Ember called. 4 times. On the 4th, I answered. Her voice was furious. What the hell are you doing? Correcting a mistake, I replied. You're ruining my wedding. I exhaled. You uninvited me from it, Ember. You dragged my name through the dirt. You let Mom tell people I was unstable. Silence. Then her voice, brittle. It wasn't personal. That's exactly the problem, I said. It never is, for you. But somehow, it always costs me. I hung up. By the end of the day, I'd recovered over $48,000. The rest? I counted it as tuition for a long overdue life lesson. I opened a new tab and searched, quiet cabin rentals, Lake Tahoe. I found a cedarwood retreat, no Wi-Fi, no noise, and booked it for a month. 3 bags. Locked apartment. No notes. No goodbyes. Just me and the road. If they wanted perfection, they could figure it out without me. That first morning at the cabin, I woke up disoriented. No buzzing notifications. No Ember. No demands. Just wind slipping through the trees and silence so pure it thudded against my chest. I made coffee on the old gas stove. Sat on the porch. Opened an untouched leather journal. On the first page I wrote, "My life has been one long apology I never owed." And just like that, everything clicked. Every late-night rescue, every overlooked sacrifice, every time I silenced myself to make space for Ember's theatrics, each was me apologizing for being too driven, too serious, too invisible. That night, I scrolled through old messages. Ember's texts, filled with sugary guilt trips and urgent demands. "Can you Venmo the florist? I'm stuck again. Mom thinks Steph should take over decor. You're just too uptight sometimes." My chest tightened, but the tears didn't come. I'd already shed them. Instead, I wrote her one final message. "You didn't break me. You clarified me." Then I blocked her. On day 3, a call came through from a private number. I let it go to voicemail. Later, I listened. Mom's voice. Thin. Frosted with judgment. "You've humiliated this family. You need help. I always knew you weren't emotionally stable enough to support Ember." I just stared at the trees outside. And for once in my life, I didn't feel the urge to fix anything. I hit delete. And for the first time in 34 years, I whispered aloud, "This isn't mine to fix." It wasn't just words, it was a release. Like something physically lifted off my chest. That evening, I wandered along the lake until the sky turned velvet and the stars blinked to life. I felt small, but not erased. Not overlooked. Just here. Fully present. Later, with the journal resting on my knees, I scribbled what I'd never dared say before. I am not accountable for who Ember chose to become. And beneath that, I am done apologizing for who I've always been. That night, sleep came quietly. No dreams. No dread. Only stillness. And in that stillness, something shifted. The version of me who had built her identity around cleaning up other people's messes, she dissolved. The change began with a forgotten piece of furniture. A dusty cedar table, abandoned behind the cabin. The morning after a storm, I found it buried beneath fallen needles, one leg snapped and the wood worn gray. Most people would have walked right past it. I didn't. I dragged it to the porch. Sanded the surface until my muscles trembled. Repaired the cracked leg. Sealed the wood under golden afternoon light. With every scrape of sandpaper, it felt like I was peeling away another layer of who I wasn't anymore. That night, I lit candles. I laid out a hodgepodge of dishes I'd picked up from a thrift shop. There was no centerpiece. No plan. Just a table, rebuilt with care, like me. 3 days later, I invited Sierra, the trail guide I'd met on a hike, and her partner Joe. Then came Eli, the grocery store clerk who'd once helped me carry firewood. By Saturday, there were 6 of us around that table. Laughing, eating, no one keeping score. No one asking what I'd done to earn my seat. Joe traced the table's smooth edge. "You made this?" she asked. I nodded. "It was broken when I found it." Sierra raised her glass gently. "So was I." Our glasses touched, and that truth hovered between us like a quiet blessing. Later, as we cleared plates, Eli lingered beside me. "You don't talk much about your family," he said softly. I looked at him and said honestly, "Because I'm still unlearning the belief that love has to be earned, or kept through sacrifice." He nodded, his eyes kind. "I hope this," he motioned toward the table, "this warmth, these people, feels like enough." "It's more than enough," I whispered. Nearly 3 months passed. One crisp night, wind rustling the lake surface, I reached for something tucked in my journal. An envelope, its corners worn soft. Ember had sent it weeks ago. Still sealed. I sat on the porch, turned it over in my hand, then fed it to the fire. I wasn't curious about her version of redemption. I'd already found my own, and it came without expectations, without obligation. The flames danced, cracked, then faded. So did the hold of the past. Weeks slipped by. The cabin wasn't just a retreat anymore, it was a reclamation of self. One night, I hosted a small dinner. Candles flickered gently. Rain kissed the windows. Laughter spun through the room, echoing against cedar walls. Eli passed me a bowl of roasted squash. Across from us, Sierra was mid-story, retelling a hiking mishap so hilarious we could barely breathe through our laughter. I felt full, not just from food, but from something deeper. And yet, I'd never felt so light. As we washed dishes, my phone vibrated. Unknown number. A single message. Hope you're proud. Ember's marriage lasted 2 months. She cries every day. Maybe now you're happy. No name, but I didn't need one. Guilt dressed up as concern, that was my mother's signature. I stared at the screen, then slowly turned the phone face down. Eli saw the shift in me. You okay? He asked. I nodded. She thinks I did all this out of spite. But I didn't. A soft smile formed. It wasn't revenge, it was healing. We stepped outside into the clean mountain air. Stars shimmered low, heavy with silence. The lake breathed in the dark. I thought about the old dining room back home. How I'd once set the table, poured the wine, served the cake, only to sit quietly on the side, waiting to be acknowledged. Not anymore. I didn't burn the bridge, I said into the night. They bulldozed it a long time ago. I just stopped swimming through the debris. Eli didn't respond with words. He just reached for my hand. Inside, the table I'd rebuilt glowed in the candlelight. 6 chairs, each one different, each one real. None borrowed. None begged for. Each place was mine. Earned by care, built with boundaries, filled by choice. Tell me what you thought of this story in the comments below. Would you like to hear more? Sparkles, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss a moment. See you in the next one.